Okay, in creating the drawing for the dashpot lifter, the recess right here is not showing up, and the edges here of this surface do not show. It's because there's fillets and rounds and just a lot of tangent edges and nothing flat for the drawing to pick up. But we have to modify that because we want to show that recess so we can dimension it and show the extents of it. So if I go to edit that view and turn on tangent edges, now it shows, but boy, it's very confusing. And if you pull dimensions on these, you'll see that they are not the stated dimensions from the textbook that we want. It's just because of the way the rounds and the fillets work. So we're going to sketch on top of that to show what we want. So we're going to select the view and then go sketch, start sketch. And I want to project geometry of that arc to give me the center point, one of these arcs to give me the center point, one of the lines, and come down here and do the same thing again with the two arcs. That's got my projected geometry that I need. I'm going to come down here and honestly, I think it'd be easier right now if we finish our sketch and go into the view and turn off that projected geometry. Or not the projected geometry, sorry, turn off the tangent edges. Makes it a little clearer to see. Now let's go back into our sketch and let's draw a circle here of radius 7. Circle here of radius 10 and another one of radius 24. Okay, so that's got my three arcs up there that I need. So we'll do the same thing down here. Radius 7. Radius 10. And a radius 24. Okay. Now we'll draw some lines to connect those, and you just got to watch your projections that you don't get lined up with something else. Okay, but we're going to want to be tangent to this line and tangent to this circle. So now we'll come in and do a tangent constraint on both ends. All right, that looks good. Now we'll do the same thing on the bottom edge. We'll draw a line from this arc to the big circle. Do some tangent constraints. That looks good. All right, now we can trim. And I'll start with that piece and that piece and this edge. And you want to really check those where they come together, make sure there's no small pieces outstanding. Okay, and then up here, take that out and this out. That looks good so far. Now we'll come down here, trim this out. And then delete these extra pieces. All right, now then, let's look at our joining pieces and make sure there's no no small things hanging out that didn't get trimmed. Okay, so now that's looking good. Now we would kind of do the same thing right here, because you're going to want kind of a midpoint of this fillet with a vertical line here, in the same way midpoint of this fillet and a vertical line. So you just go back in and turn on tangent edges, and then you can sketch those two lines in. So we're going to finish this sketch. All right, so now we've got that, and if we dimension it now, we'll get correct dimensions. Next, we want to put a section view through here, a revolved section. So we're going to do another sketch, a new sketch, and we're going to put a line across here. And let's project geometry of one side. And then a constraint. We'll go perpendicular. And then a coincident constraint to put this line on the midpoint. There we go. And let's finish that sketch. Okay, so over here I've got two sketches. I'm going to rename this one, or I thought I was. That way I can just keep them straight when I need to look at them. So the section sketch, which is this line right here, we're going to right click on that. Oh, finish sketch, sorry. Right click on it and go create section view. Now that creates a section on that sketch line. Now that's not what we want to see. So we're going to come over here under section depth and go distance, and a distance of 0. And that creates a slice of like 0.003 of a millimeter thick, I think it is. Now we can drag this back down, and we just want to kind of visually get it centered up on that sketch there. All right, so we placed it. Now we'll do a little housekeeping on this. So right click on the cutting plane, uncheck show entire line. That'll take it out of the center point. The hatching, double click it. Let's change our angle to 30. I think looks good. Yeah, that looks good. This is in the way here. So let's go into, there's my view, edit my view, turn off the label. Okay, so now that looks pretty good. So that's got me a good section view right through that midpoint. But you notice my sketch here is showing through it. So I have to go back into the recess sketch and edit that out. So let's go edit that. Let me zoom out so you can see a little better. What I'm going to do is I'm going to split this line. And you notice the little snap comes up for there. So we'll go ahead and split those. And then delete that midsection. Because trim will not work against a sketch. Okay, so now I want to constrain this to be parallel to the outside edge. Okay, and I'll try this one. It may not. Nope. Okay, so that one's already parallel. All right, now I want to drag the end point of this line down. Whoa, that's not cool. Oh, I lost my radius dimension on that arc right there. So I'm going to go ahead and put those dimensions back in while we're here.